and it's just garbage. I mean, we're allowed to cuss on this show, right? It is shit, man.
It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. Dave, I want you to get into Collaborate Pros a little bit because you've been on this show, I mean, almost from the get-go since we started doing this thing. We've talked about Collaborate a little bit, and I think a lot of people have like heard through the grapevine what you're up to, but we haven't talked about it in a hell of a long time. So why don't you give us kind of the nuts and bolts of what you do, and give us the trajectory of your business, because I know you're growing like crazy. It'd be cool to kind of hear where you were like a year ago and where you were 6 months ago and where you guys are now.
Yeah, the funny thing is, we're in April. I think we got our first customer in April last year. So I started it about a year and a half ago, got our first customers about a year ago. And it's really nice to have the data now that we have about 120 businesses working with us right now. Wait. And the data we're seeing in about 6 months after joining Collaborate, most companies' traffic to their website increases 600 to 800%.
That's a big number. As a math guy, I will tell everybody that's a big number.
6 to 8 times more traffic than when they're started working with us. That's the averages. Some is way more, some is a little bit less, but typically 600% or more. And essentially what we do is we connect people in the same industry. So any landscape lighting people listening here, we've got tons of landscape lighters in our network, tons of pressure washers. We even have landscapers, window cleaners, plumbers. We've got all sorts of carpet cleaners, stuff like that. So housekeeping, like your businesses, right? Maid services. And essentially we just add a lot of content to your website. We do a lot of blog posting. We do all this stuff that's really no fun, but actually gets extraordinary results.
How do you differentiate it? Because when you and I have talked about it in the past, you always like make a point to say it's not just like SEO. How for those of us that are not marketing folks, and I hear SEO and I'm like, oh, my website, right? So help us differentiate, what the classic like SEO person is doing and what you guys do differently and way more cost effectively for us.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I like to say we don't sell SEO, but SEO is search engine optimization. There's on-page SEO and then there's off-page SEO. On-page is getting your website, your sitemap in order and all your content in order and get it interlinked the right way, the right content. So we focus a lot of your on-site SEO. And then if you want your website to show up for a search term and you don't have that search term on your website, you're really not going to show up.
Yeah.
Now, what most SEO companies do is they'll go out and build links or even purchase links or guest posts or blog posts. And then those links come back to your website. So Dan, if you're a window cleaner in Minneapolis, well, they would go buy a link or build a link and they would put in the link window cleaning company back to your website in Minneapolis. Now that's how you're getting you to show up for window cleaning company. Mm-hmm. We have a totally different approach and method. We put the search term window cleaning on your website and then Google sees your website and says, oh, he talks about window cleaning. So we're going to let him rank for that search term. So that's the difference. We don't build links and we don't go out and do guest posts or any of that stuff. Now I've gotten into some people's websites who will have 50 or 60,000 backlinks to their website. And it's just garbage. We're allowed to cuss on this show, right? It is shit, man. It is just throwing so much garbage at your website. But we have people in our network in the Los Angeles area who there's like 80 backlinks to their website. In the Los Angeles area, they're number one for every search term they want. So it's not about backlinking. It's not about the typical SEO stuff. It's the quality and it's how you do it.
Gotcha. So now, obviously a big part of your business is the collaboration aspect. And so how does the collaboration piece work? Just in a nutshell.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, it's like the gas getting thrown on the fire. So if you were say you were a landscape lighting company, or let's say a window cleaner or pressure washing. I think we have 60 pressure washing companies in our collaboration of networks. If you were to join in our network, now we have 60 other pressure washing companies that we will use to promote your business. Now, Google, when they see a pressure washing company promoting a pressure washing company, it's throwing gas on the fire. It just absolutely lights your website up. Now, if you go the traditional SEO method and you're getting guest posts and backlinks from somewhere else, they're really not worth anything because it's a different industry.
Yeah, there's no authority.
Yep, it helps build your authority. It gets you recognized right away. So that's the collaboration part of it.
I dig it.